Yes, people, we're back with another episode and another week of the Online Health Business Academy podcast for the PTs transitioning over to online coaching full time. And we're just trying to make it a great transition for you. So myself, Mike, Coach
driving a building.
Yeah, man. So what we're going to talk about today is Eddie Abbew versus James Smith. Very interesting thing happening in the fitness industry. And we're just going to talk about what our thoughts are on it firstly, and then what we think you can learn from this as a coach in terms of your marketing, okay? Cool. So, Jav, what's your thoughts, man? First of all.
I like it, man. I like a bit of beef.
Yeah.
Controversy sells in this game, no matter what you do, no matter what you talk about. And,
100.
you know, bad press is still good press, innit? So, for me, I like it, man. I think that it's good because it's two outspoken people as well, and they have different styles.
Yeah.
Even like the quality of their content's different. Like everything's different about
Completely different.
the way they come up, everything. So it's like, I like it. And I want to go, we'll get a bit deeper into it, but there's certain marketing elements to it that have really helped both of them, which we'll get into in a second. So yeah, those are my initial thoughts. What about yourself?
Yeah. So my initial thoughts are more so on the actual, like, what they're saying and the topics in terms of the fitness side of it, really.
And the food and all that.
The food, yeah, that's what my initial thoughts was. I'm kind of I'm Team Eddie. Yeah, I'm Team Eddie because I think that there's a big lesson in it, and that is for too long we've been on this if it fits your macros crap.
Okay, you're not with all of that.
Nah, man, not really.
You've always said that. To be fair, you've always said that.
Not really, man. And I think that when I started with the online coaching, it was so much of that. Like that was what, you know, everyone was doing online and the content was based around. So I think that it's just a shit way of thinking. I think you need to sacrifice in life in general. I've always made my talk to my clients individually about that. And I think now, like, it's good to see someone outspoken. And also, it doesn't matter what side of the fence someone is on, as long as you can speak it. So I think there's a lot of coaches that probably felt the exact same way as Eddie, but they never really spoke out about that on their content. So they didn't see the same sort of...
yeah. But then, okay, so if you listen to James Smith here, he's always going to break it down. He's always going to talk about calories. He's always going to argue that, all right, if I'm coaching someone for fat loss, they just have to make sure that they hit these calories.
Yeah.
So I guess I would say, what's the argument against that for you or Eddie?
So my argument with that is that that works for some people, right? But for the majority of people who are obese or overweight, you know, you have trigger foods. You have an addiction. Let's just call it what it is, addiction, right? And anyone that dives in a little bit deep into food will understand that sugar is like, it's got a lot of similarities to like cocaine.
Cocaine,
do you know what I mean?
They say it's more addictive than cocaine.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you can't just say, all right, I'm going to have, you know, half a chocolate bar. Most people can't do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I thought no one could do that.
No one can't do that. I can't even do that. I know myself, like, I'm very all in or not or all out. So I think that it's just unrealistic to just say that you can have anything in your diet. So most of these people ain't gonna get great results anyway, right? If you do that, you know what I'm saying? And I think most coaches don't have a high rate in terms of success, and it's because of that. And it was a catch-22 for me too, because, you know, I kind of you're going with what's accepted, which is like personalize it to everybody, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you see some of the best coaches, right? I'll give you an example. Francis Diet, yeah. So Francis Diet was a guy, he's probably still quite big, and he's just got like his online coach, right? Doesn't post no content, no type of toolkit or anything like that. It's just transformations, right? But I know people that's been on his coaching program. What do you think it is?
Just some simple diet. Can't eat.
But it's restrictive, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you got to train this, you got to do that, you got to do this. So not everybody stop. Like,
but then people who do that, as soon as they come out of that diet, they fall off.
I think people quit quicker though. I think the people who come out of it like quickly, they fall off. Do you know what I mean? But I think that there's limits to it. So with the Eddie thing again, like I'm Team Eddie more so. I'm not fully Team Eddie because I'm not like, oh, just eat eggs, cut out carbs, do all of that. I think you've got to be realistic at least, right? But I'm just saying that I'm okay with a bit of sacrifice. And I think that you just have to, that's the whole point of online coaching, is personalized. So you've got to look at the person and think, all right, I want to push you a bit. Do you know what I mean? I want to push you. I don't want to just keep you in your comfort zone, eat whatever you like, calories, but I want to push you a bit. So I'm going to choose some things that you can sacrifice, and that's going to make you a better person, it's going to make you better.
Yeah, I had this dilemma as well, to be fair, where, because I used to say to my clients, and I used to post about it as well, that you could drink alcohol. And I remember I made this post, on IG, this must have been like 2 years ago,
I remember.
where I started talking about, no more alcohol.
Yeah, I remember
I had a couple of coaches in the comments. A couple of people that we know, innit? But I was still standing by it because I realized I had clients who I allowed to drink alcohol and they weren't getting results.
Yeah.
And even me, bro, like I don't drink a lot, but I know that if I do drink, it F's up the results. So, and the more that I'm even looking at things, I'm reading, I'm like, it just makes it so much easier if you just cut it out. Let's just cut the bull crap, innit? No alcohol, you're gonna lose weight, especially if you're someone who drinks. If you've already been drinking, and obviously my niche was a lot of men, so you know what it is: weekends, beer, bro. You can lose weight, but let's not kid ourselves, innit? It's easier if we just say, all right, let's cut this out.
Yeah. And my big thing is, it's not that deep.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not like people need to get okay. This is me personally, I think people need to be more okay with sacrifice. And this applies to our coaches too. It's not always about like the perfect balance or, I just want to be able to do everything I'm doing now and get to the result. How much do you want the flipping result? Do you feel what I'm saying? We're here on a Sunday evening. Like, a lot of people are like, I don't want to work on a Sunday evening. Bro, who the fuck cares? It's not that deep. Next Sunday, we'll chill, we'll be at home. It's cool. Do you know what I mean? So I just think more people need to be okay with sacrifice. And I think that the people who are just like on the if it fits your macros thing and don't check, so you don't have to sacrifice nothing, you're basically just saying you have low standards of the person. Like, you don't think that they can survive.
Right. They can't even push themselves to do it. Yeah.
And by setting someone up like that, you're setting them up to fail.
Yeah.
So
and ultimately, if they do it, by the end of the process, they would have raised their standards.
They would have raised their standards.
So I hear that.
Yeah, that's
so. The thing that I would say about the beef that has been good is that we always say it to our coaches, they need an enemy.
Yeah.
In the fitness industry, you need an enemy, bro. And it doesn't always have to be a person, but for these two, it's become a person. Eddie don't like James, James don't like Eddie. And their philosophies are clashing.
Yeah.
And every video that they do, if you look at the metrics, it's getting loads of views. It's getting bare comments.
Yeah.
And you know what, they got cult-like followings. And I just made a video about this.
Okay.
Anything you do, and it's something that we're trying to do now with the whole grow with organic scale traffic thing, it's if you got a cult-like following, you're going to get more engagement and people that will ride for you. So if you look at the comments, in Eddie's comments, they're grilling James. In James' comments, they're grilling Eddie.
True.
And I got an email about this, and it's like, what can you do to build a cult-like following as a coach? Have like a community vibe to it. Have something like High Rocks. Bro, you know when someone's doing High Rocks, what do? They talk about it. It's on their stories all the time. Or if they do CrossFit. Yeah. Everyone just knows that someone does CrossFit. Yeah. Why? Because it's like a cult-y thing. So you got to have something that makes people like really get like a cult-y vibe to you, because even me, bro, I was in Audi the other day and I was looking to get like the protein milkshake, and I actually had Eddie's voice in my head. Don't buy that shit. It's fucking shit, bro. I swear. He was in my head.
Yeah, he's in everybody's head.
Should I get this protein shake? What's Eddie going to say to me? And I don't even know him, bro.
I know him, yeah. He's in everybody's head, bro. Like, realistically, he is.
So, the enemy thing for content is big.
Enemy, man. And I think authenticity, we spoke about this before in one of the podcasts, but authenticity, because a lot of coaches have these things and these beliefs, but they're not loud about it. Why? Because they're worried about what people are going to say. They're worried about, and a lot of coaches make content for other coaches. If you're a coach, stop doing this. I see this, right? And look, coaches are going to support each other. They're going to comment for you and they're going to, like your stuff. But just please remember, you're not there for them. You know what I mean? You're not there for them, because if you keep making content that you know will be okay with them, you'll never step out of your comfort zone. And then guess what? You don't grow. You don't grow, and you're not going to build that cult-like following, because enough coaches, you're not thinking like laser beam focus on who you're trying to help. So you're thinking about so many other people, and that's what it is. You're going to get scared to offend them. So that's a big thing for me, man. Like, don't be scared to offend. Like, be authentic, true to yourself. I think of it and I look at it now and I think this is such a great space, because although you've got like different things happening in terms of limitations with the platforms, like you can come into the fitness game and take over, because all you have to do is, like you said, you know, have an enemy. You got to be a superhero. I can't remember what book this was in, right? But it's like you've got to become a superhero, right? And a hero always has like a backstory. So they got their persona and they've always got a common enemy, like things that they stand against. You got Batman, what does he stand against? Like crime. He's, you know, the average criminal. You got Superman, he's always fighting and saving the world and all of that. So you need to have your enemy that you go against. And I think if you come into the industry with like that now, very focused on one thing, very always educating on a certain thing, then you'll fly high, man.
And there's another guy that does this very well, more on YouTube, older guy, his name's Greg Doucette.
I've heard of
Greg Doucette.
Bodybuilder.
Yeah. He's YouTube, yeah.
Cold
black following.
I had a family member, right, that was also like following his stuff.
Yeah.
She ended up like partying with him and yeah, I'm saying, but for years she was on it.
Like his energy in videos is mad. Like,
yeah.
And all he does is he gets on YouTube and he grills like other people. Yeah, he grills like TikTok videos.
Yeah.
But he just does it with a personality. He does it like with energy. Yeah. And because he's credible, he's competed on stage. He's done drugs, but he also does like cycling, like riding bikes. Like so, he's been across the spectrum when it comes to health and fitness. He's done powerlifting. Okay. So he doesn't ever say anything. He sensationalizes it, but it's coming from a place of like, right, I know what I'm talking about though. I'm not just saying it just to say it.
Yeah.
And I think that, on YouTube, again, he's got like a cult-like following, bro. People love his stuff.
100%.
And that kind of leads into another thing, yeah? I was talking about this with one of our mastermind clients, but leaning into trending topics. Because that kind of works so he did like a whole thing on like the Sam Sulek guy.
Okay.
And that video just got millions of views on YouTube because he just spoke about the Sam Sulek thing and kind of just said that he's going to die early, basically, because of all the steroids he's taking.
Yeah.
So enemies, man. Enemies. It's a content pillar.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a content pillar.
And one thing I'll say is, on the market. So on the marketing now, we're telling you what we feel you could learn through the marketing, on the marketing side. Informative fucking content, bro. Like I've been screaming this at all our coaches, talking to it with our mastermind coaches as well, that the consumer now, which is your target client, they are fed up of the watered down crap.
Yeah. Just got told that yesterday, innit? Or Friday morning.
Like, who we're working with, like, they're fed up of it. So it's like the whole Alex Hormozi thing. Alex Hormozi came in, he had some of the fastest growth
in the last 2 years
of any business mentor, right? And it was because we was on a mentorship at the time. Remember, we was paying $1,500 a month. Bro, this guy come onto the scene and we're seeing all a lot of the stuff that we're being taught, the guy's just giving it out away for free. Yeah. Now, we don't regret it because of course, like it's the who you're around, the things and the specific information, right? But like when you give away such good flipping information to a niche, right? You have no choice but to grow. And that's the thing with Eddie. And I think that's what a lot of us we're missing, because the controversy is very important. The enemy is very important, all of that. But he's being highly informative. He's leading the way. So you've got a bunch of people who they've been trying for years. They've been confused. They're dealing with health issues. Like they've got problems, right? And you come in and you say, listen, I'm a formidable or whatever leader, right? And I'm leading the way for you. Follow me. I'm going to tell you what the fucking right thing is. Do you know what I'm saying?
But this is the issue though. This is the issue because informative, yeah? Don't you think a lot of coaches have been doing informative content for the last couple of years already?
No, not if they think they're doing informative content, bro.
Yeah.
They think they're doing informative content, but it's BS.
Okay, how?
It's BS, bro, because it's just all surface level crap.
Okay.
It's all very like basic. Go on any coach's thing. You're going to see maybe a little bit of exercise form technique. You're going to see a little bit about protein, yeah? You might talk about the shakes, Like, think about it, bro. What's the most interesting... I actually commented on a coach's content yesterday because the most interesting piece of content I've seen in a while, she was talking about something called frozen shoulders for women with perimenopause, right? And I didn't even know about it. And I said, this is an interesting piece of content. I had no clue about that. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? And it's like, the problem is, or the thing is, your page needs to be full of that. Like, your page needs to be a utility. You forwarded me a guy, yeah? And he's a tax guy, he's an accountant, and he's on flipping.
The young guy, yeah.
He's killing it. And he's killing it,
he's
bro.
Killing
followers. And you know the reason why he's killing it? because his page is like a utility. Simple content, bro. There's no more different. You don't even change the location. But you know, if I think, I need to know something about accountancy or tax or something, I'll obviously probably use ChatGPT or whatever myself, but I could also go on his page and think, oh, let me just check and see what he said. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? Or I'll stop, and if I see his content, I think, I know what this guy's going to be about this. Let me listen. So I think that
that's true.
It's been surface level for too long.
It's the way that it's being done now.
The way that's been done.
Because we had a conversation with someone that's going to be helping us, forever investing in ourselves. And on Friday, he actually informed us that a lot of agencies have lost fitness clients because the audience is tired of this. Oh, these are 5 ways to grow your glutes. These are 6 steps to get a 6-pack. Like that stuff is just, it's gone now. It's gone. Online coaching is gone. It's advancing. And every year in any industry, improvements get made, things improve. I think of it like music, bro. Like people that were rapping in the 90s don't rap the same way now because flows improve, beats get better. Like the audience, what audience like changes. So the same thing applies in this industry too. Like things get better over time. So if you're still getting in front of camera, and you're doing, this is how you can squat. Like
it's basic, bro.
Like it's not cutting through anymore.
No.
So I think a lot of coaches are struggling with that transition though.
Yeah.
That's why they're not getting clients, because they're struggling, especially organically, to build an audience.
Yeah. Because
of this transition of a bit more valuetainment, a bit more deeper. When you're just surface level, like it's a struggle, bro. Like,
of course.
It's a struggle.
Of course. The thing is, it's so simple, right? It's just, you know, the coaches are not laser beam focused on what they need to be. And I always use that word laser beam focused because I got that from The One Thing, and there's a few other books that talk about that, right? But essentially, the first point we always talk about is your niche. And people think they know their niche, or they think that they've done a bit of due diligence on their niche, but they ain't got a fucking clue. They don't go deep. They don't do the avatar. They don't say, who is this person? You know, who is my average client? Who's my perfect ideal client? Sarah, who's 32, who's a mom, she got 2 kids, she drives this, she does this for her workplace. Like half of you watching this have not done that. Maybe 75%. So you need to do that. And once you do that, you know, and you focus on this person, you say, how can I help this person through my content and through my page?
And what we like to do on the onboarding of a new client is obviously the niche roadmap. And there's some questions that we even have on the roadmap. Like, what are they Googling? What keeps them up at night? What are they searching on YouTube? What have they tried in the past already? What's their current circumstance? When you can put those questions in, it gives you like the formula for making content,
100%,
answering their questions. Like, because when you know, this person's been struggling with X, X, and X, now you can literally make content that answers that question.
Answers that.
Literally, and in depth if you want to. You can take it as deep as you want. You can go in super detail. Like, I would advise you to try a few, like try it in different ways as well. So
So you become that person's Google. You become that person's authority figure now. So when they're looking for information on their journey, they turn to you. And what happens is, because a lot of coaches are scared to give too much value, right? And I understand the fear in that, and I understand the mindset block you have to overcome. But what happens when you do it is that 75% of those people will stumble. So you can give out your best shit, they're still gonna stumble.
Yeah, they ain't gonna do it.
It's always mindset anyway. So people need accountability and community. You just said it there, that we've invested again in our thing. We know a lot of the stuff they're telling us, we know. They're jumping the goal like, yeah, we know. But it's the leadership. So it's like, no, we're testing this currently. We understand, you know what I mean? So you just have a certainty, and then it's the accountability, the structure, the systems, and then also the community, because that leads you into different communities. You know, you're rubbing shoulders with different people, all of that stuff. So essentially, people still pay for that. And I think a lot of people don't understand online coaching because they think of it as more personal training. And personal training is very like transactional. It's very like you go and we have a 1 hour session and I teach you this. And they don't understand that online coaching it's a 360 kind of thing. There's a lot of things that are included with that. So you can give away all that value because 75% of people, they're going to thank you for it. They're going to be grateful, but they're still going to stumble on their own. And then and it doesn't matter if they lose a bit of weight. It doesn't matter if they don't lose any. Most of them are going to come to you at some point and say, help me out. Do you know what I mean? I want to book a call with you. I want to know more. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? Or at the very least, if they achieve it on their own, they'll recommend it to someone who they know. They say, no, you need to go to this person. Their information alone has helped me. So I think you probably just need to work with them a bit closer.
And that's the cult, bro. Because when you're in a cult, you got connections, bro. You got the connections. So then everyone's kind of feeding into each other. And someone might need something from someone else. So maybe I can't do it, but I can connect the dots to help you improve in this area of your life. But taking it back to the Eddie versus James thing. Here's a question for you. Who do you think's benefited the most from this?
In terms of them too?
Yeah.
Brother, the man went from 13K followers to 2 mil now. He's almost on 2 mil. So I would have to say, unless I'm missing something, I'd have to say Eddie. Yeah. He's completely come from nothing to, and I don't think he, the funny thing with Eddie is I don't think he started this to beef James. He wasn't thinking of James.
Yeah.
He was thinking of just everybody,
the industry
and what's going on. And James just hopped along, and basically he's smart as well because he jumped in and think I'll ride the wave and I'm just gonna. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you? So yeah, I'd say Eddie. What about yourself?
And no, Eddie as well, because James has got a bigger audience than him.
Yeah.
So, but James still has a bigger audience in terms of followers collectively across YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. But
okay, fair enough.
So Eddie's not profited monetarily, but from a boost in engagement wise.
Yeah.
However, James has also benefited because he got onto Eddie early. Like he grilled one of his videos. That's how it all started. Because James grilled one of his videos. You know them reaction videos where, so he had it in a corner and he just grilled him in it and just said it was chatting shit. And that is basically how the back and forth started. But James is the one that started it with a bigger audience. So really like, James knew
that 50 Cent sending for a new
rapper, yeah. So it's like he's already got an audience, but I'm gonna ride this wave because it's gonna get my audience up, even though my audience is bigger than yours. But I still boost up Eddie at the same time, and Eddie's continued it. And obviously Eddie's rise is just going like that. Obviously James is James now, and it's at some point it slows down. So it's like they kind of benefit from each other, but I think Eddie got the best out of it.
Yeah, 100%, man. Like the growth has been crazy, really and truly, man. But I think, that's why I'd attest to it, man. Just being authentic, was it your niche, having an enemy, and then also there's some, we've spoken to people on Eddie's team that was, kind of helping him actually with the content. And there's some rules to, marketing online and your videos. And I think that is where a lot of coaches are clueless. Do you know what I mean? Like you used to grow my videos and you know what I mean? You kind of like trained me a bit with that, like in terms of, you're speaking too long on that, or you're rambling on this, or your hook isn't great. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? And I think, you have to grow. And I say this, right? This might put some people off, but it's the truth, right? I no longer have sympathy for coaches who don't move with the times, who don't grow, who don't develop in this industry. Because it used to be a thing where you could be okay and you could get clients. And now it's about, you have to be great. You have to be good at least. And you need to keep getting better and better and better. So you have to, and it's business. That's the rules of business. It's not just in online coaching. Any business there's always issues happening, things or whatever. So yeah, you got to go from okay to good and then to great, man. So you need to understand, the putting together a piece of content, a hook, what a hook is. You need to understand, watch time and how to increase watch time. You need to improve your fucking quality. Like I made a video for the coaches in OHBA yesterday. I'm gonna put in a group first thing, and it's like even like we used to go and rent cameras off Fat Llama. I ain't got no sympathy for coaches who are flipping lazy.
It's true,
and you're posting your shitty content on your shitty front camera of your iPhone. I got no sympathy because we was hiring cameras for the day, right? £50, £40. We'll go find good locations. Yeah, Sky Garden, Canary Wharf.
Yeah, we'll do
it. Find and we'll shoot 20 videos in one go, and we'll have the content ready for the week.
Yeah,
for the month. Sorry, and we'll stand out hiring studios. Yeah. So we could have the little white backdrop.
Yeah.
Before we'd even really made
just doing. I wasn't even making money. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you have to go from okay to great if you really want to make it out.
Yeah, man. And I think it's the competitiveness, man. That's why I made a story about it the other day. Like, you got to be competitive. Yeah. And I think one of the things, yeah, is like you can be on a mentorship, but I know someone's going to win when they join a mentorship and they're already watched half the videos in the members area and they're like, oh, I've done that already. I'm ready to go to the next stage before we've even done an onboarding call with them, or they've gone to the first strategy session. Like, I know, oh, okay, this guy wants to win or this girl wants to win. Yeah. So you've got the mentorship's cool, but you've got to take that and also do more. Because if we just did what our first mentor said, we'd never do ads. We'd never get into ads. Or we'd never get a camera because he'd just be like, oh, just use your phone and did it. We would never think, oh, no, we can do more than this. So you've got to have that competitiveness. Because me, I look at other coaches with quality videos and I'm like, even if I rate them, I'm like, nah, we got to find a way to match that or be better than that. Or I see a coach talking about he's had a 200K month or 100K month and I'm like, all right, okay. We need to, there's a way that we can do it too, innit? Like, so it's the mentality. Some coaches are just like, oh, it's okay. I'll stick with this, you know, And another thing as well, this isn't for everyone, but I think that sometimes if you're too comfortable in life and you ain't had a little bit of struggle or a little bit of like, you don't always have to have struggle, but yeah, there's got to be something that will make you want to do more. And I think sometimes when you've had everything easy and you never really had a struggle, you're not putting in an extra 10%, bro. Like you'll just, it's okay.
Pressure makes diamonds, man. You need to put yourself in a place where there's pressure, man. But I mean, so anything to wrap it up then? Eddie versus James. We talked a lot, I think, about the marketing and things you could learn from it, who we agree with, who we don't agree with. Anything you'd like to wrap up with?
Yeah, man, I think the takeaways, like some practical takeaways that you can take as coaches is the number one thing is your niche. Have that niche, find an enemy. Don't be afraid to actually say what you really mean. You don't have to just blend in with everybody else. That's really going to make a big difference, man, because if you're just doing what everyone else is doing, you're going to get the same results as everybody else. And 2024, a lot of online coaches are falling to the wayside or seeing that their monthly revenue is decreasing because they're using 2020 tactics in 2024 and it don't work anymore, man. It don't work anymore.
Yeah, you got to push yourself, man. You got to go from okay to great. You've got to work on your mindset. I always say that it's the first thing you want to work on as soon as you do it. You want to look at your weaknesses mindset-wise because that's going to allow you to have a mindset where you want to grow, where you want to, you know, and you're competitive, you know, you're not just like healing over. So that's it. Let us know what you think about the Eddie versus James beef in the comments, whose side you're on. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. The aim is to have every PT and online coach listening to this every single Friday morning, you know, whether they're on the way to train or whatever. And yeah, that is us. Make sure you share this. Check us out, podcasts, Spotify, streaming platforms. We're done.
Peace.
Boom.